Hey, what's up, everybody? Ahí está. Welcome to another edition of the ETO podcast. Joe Rodriguez here, joining you from Connecticut with Super Mojado. How do you like the new music, Super?
Pareces un DJ, güey. Oh, chingón. I don't know if we're in Europe or in Connecticut.
In Connecticut. Anyways, let's start fading the music down a little bit. There you go. So, what's up, everybody? Super, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo andas, man?
What's up, man? I'm all right. Ready for another week.
Yeah. Hey, but check it out, dude. It's I mean, typically, obviously, we talk about football here on the ETO podcast, but as I mentioned in the past, and for those of you guys that do watch the ETO podcast on a regular basis, you also know that we do talk about the community, things that impact the community. And before we talk about any sports today, I feel it's our duty, it's our obligation to talk about the ongoing protests that are happening here in this country. Because, people are tired, man. People are tired. They are fed up with the police brutality, with the mistreatment of people of color, black, brown. Always, it seems as though they get the short end of the stick. Super, I don't know how much you've watched news this weekend, but man, it was crazy. It was crazy because to me, I thought that, it was the people speaking, right? There was a lot of things happening, a lot of things going on, a lot of emotional moments that we saw, man. But anyway, I just want to get your take, and I want you to tell me what you witnessed and your feelings, dude.
Well, it's been a crazy few days. I actually, at the beginning, I was not too aware of it, but as the weekend progressed, I started seeing more and more videos, and a little bit more of I got into social media, and I started noticing what was going on, and it's crazy, man. I mean, it's a lot to take in because there's a lot of subjects into that one. Out of one topic, so many stuff came out of. Yes, I agree with the protest. Yes, I agree with the movement that people are trying to create. But then again, I disagree with the way some people are going about it. Creating chaos, damage, crime in general. And it's very it's a very, very difficult subject, because there's so much into it.
Right. And I'm not going to let you get, too much into that because I'm going to have to stop you there and let's first be analytical, right? And let's think about what's actually happening. So a lot of people are out there protesting. We know why, because of what happened to George Floyd. His unfortunate death at the hands of a police officer or several police officers, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, but obviously he just joins a list of many other African-American people who have died, right? So the people out there are protesting because they want justice, because they want things to change, right? So there's definitely people that are looting. However, there's also been a lot of people out there who aren't really part of that movement, and they've been caught on video. They're not part of the movement, yet they go and vandalize and do all this shady stuff, right? Are people who are part of the movement also, looting? Probably, right? But even so, there's a lot of questions out there that we don't know, and there's a lot of misinformation that constantly just goes everywhere because of the nature of the world that we live in, right? So just as an example, you and I right now could literally make something up, and if it's convincing enough or compelling enough to someone, all they got to do is share our video, and then it goes like haywire, right? We could say
Yes.
like, oh, we
Yes.
witnessed this, we saw this or whatever, right? But like if people really don't know, then it's a big issue, man. And that's why we have to be really cautious about the information that we transmit. Like us as journalists, it is our responsibility to make sure that we don't lie to people, that we don't make up stuff. And if we get information shared to us, that we also double check it, triple check it, right? Because again, it's very
Yes.
easy for people to speak about a specific subject or a certain subject, and then things just go haywire. So again, is there people out there that are looting, that are, for the cause? Yeah. But even so, you know what I mean? Like, can we really be mad at them? Right? I know that it's tough when like small businesses are being vandalized. Like I kind of agree with you on that, but
Yeah.
the reality is that like things will be rebuilt, right? But
Of course. Yeah.
here's and before I let you speak, here's where I feel strongly about. I feel strongly about this. If you're gonna target businesses, if you're gonna riot, if you're gonna do, let's not even call it riot. If you're gonna loot or attack businesses, attack the businesses that are donating to the politicians like massive amounts of money and who are allowing for things to remain the same. Those are the businesses that you should attack, right? You shouldn't be attacking like the mom and pops businesses, and people have different opinions. I've seen several people say things along the lines of like, well, to me, it doesn't matter. Black lives matter more. Of course, Black lives matter more than any business. I get that, right? But the reality is that there's also a lot of people, even Black people, who spent a lot of time and effort in building their businesses, and then overnight it could be destroyed. We don't know how many people literally just started to, get their business, up and running, right? Maybe they just literally launched like, right before COVID. And not only that, but let's take that into account as well. So anyway, it's really tough. It's really, really tough. But at the end of the day, dude, the government needs to step in. They need to make change. And now, not like yesterday or the day before. Like it needs to happen now. So anyway, that's my two cents on that.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like we've said, not all of the people that are in this movement are doing creating some chaos. Again, let's also say that not all of the police officers are the same. And like just like what I have witnessed here in Bristol.
Yeah.
Today there was a protest in our city, and it was a peaceful protest. And it was right in, like I said, in our streets. And I witnessed it. I was at that street at the moment of the protest. The chief of police was there, among other officers. And there's actually video of this also, and where he is joining the movement. He's saying that, yes, you have the freedom to voice, yourself, express yourself, and tell us how you feel.
Right.
And the same way, I can tell you that I disagree with everything that is going on, and I support you. So I'm happy to see that, and also here in Connecticut, I saw a Facebook Live yesterday about the New Haven Police Department, where they were supporting also the movement. So there's many other cities that are doing the same. And like I said, not everyone is the same. And let's just also, tell people about this, because it's something that we have to come together,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We as a human race, as human beings, we need to come together, man. And we need to unite to try to create as much change as possible. I know it's difficult. I know that human beings in general, like, just it's our nature to want to put ourselves into groups because we're different, because we look different. But the reality is, man, that we just got to cut that shit, man. And we got to stop looking at people just because of the color that they are and judging them only because of the color that they are, right? We have to give people a chance to get to know them. I mentioned this on a post, the other day or yesterday, where basically my belief is this, dude. The only thing that is going to, unfortunately, get us to change is when we're attacked by aliens. And I mean like extraterrestrial. You know what I'm saying? Because then we're really going to have to stand up and unite, right? And realize then that we are humans, all of us. So, I mean, I know it sounds funny, dude, but like, does it really have to come down to that? That's kind of like, it's more of rhetorical question, but does it really? And it's tough, man.
You know, though, you know what, though, it's all, like I said, I agree with everything that, we're protesting about. It's just hard, man. It's hard, and you're never going to get people to agree.
No, not fully.
For many different reasons.
Not fully, but
no, not fully.
But then also, like, we gotta hold people accountable too, man. We gotta hold people accountable. We gotta point out the racists. We gotta make sure that people get put on blast. If you're a freaking racist, you should be put on blast, right? And I don't think enough people do that. There's not enough people that actually have. How do you call that? I guess the will, or maybe they're just afraid that, there may be some retaliation against them. But if you see something, say something type of thing, right? Like, because it's got to stop, man. It's got to stop. How many more people need to die? How many more people have to lose their lives at the hands of cops or at the hands of racism, period,
Yes, I would say it that way instead of the hands of racism, because that's basically that is the bigger picture that we're trying to eliminate.
Right.
At the end of the day, yes, people die sometimes at the hands of cops, and it doesn't matter the color of it. Sometimes I know we're more like, obviously we are more targeted, but I think everyone should, every life matters. And yes, we have to, like I said, change our ways. We eliminate the key factor, racism. That's what it is, because there is racism in all of our, in all of the cultures, man. And it sucks. That's the bigger picture,
Yep. Yeah. And it was actually really good to be able to see, just people across the world join, hands and hold hands together in protest. And we also saw it in the world of sports. There was people.
Yes.
There were people out there that were, peacefully protesting. And I'm gonna try to pull up an image here really quick to share. It was one from Liverpool. I don't know if you got a chance to see that, Super. Let me see if I can.
From Liverpool? I don't think I saw the Liverpool one, but I did see some athletes. Actually, in the Bundesliga, I saw someone with a message on their jersey when they score a goal. I think it was
right. So I'm gonna put it online right now, and it's a picture of Liverpool players, calling for justice. So they all took a knee in memory of George Floyd right there in Anfield in Liverpool. So like these are like the type of images that you get a chance to see that are extremely impactful, because these guys are trying to also send a message that not only do they hear, but they empathize and they understand the magnitude of the problem. So, these are the type of things, again, that we got a chance to see. And like you mentioned, I mean, they weren't the only ones. Plenty of other athletes got involved in making their voice heard. Before we wrap up this topic, Super, here's where I want to lead things off. I think that I'm definitely all for the movement. I am definitely all for change. I want police brutality to stop, discrimination to end. But the movement needs to be organized. The movement needs a leader. And that's where things right now are kind of chaotic, because there's a bunch of different batches of protesting going on and protesters happening, throughout California and the South, here in the Northeast and Connecticut, New York, right? But the problem is that there's no voice. There's no national figure out there. There's no Martin Luther King, right? There's no Malcolm X. There's no Cesar Chavez. There's not that national voice yet that everybody's going to listen to. And if people were kind of holding back and hoping to be convinced, that person needs to come out. That person needs to step up. I think it's going to happen organically, but that person is not out there yet. Because once we have a person that is able to organize the movement, then really incredible things can happen. I understand, there could be grave consequences. Obviously, the guys I mentioned, most of them shot and killed, right? But the reality is that everything's all over the place. So the movement needs someone to take the lead, to be a leader, to organize the people, to create a strategy, right? So everybody is on the same page and nobody is doing things they're not supposed to, which ultimately some of them will. But again, a leader needs to emerge. So hopefully that happens soon.
Yep. Well, let's see. Let's hope for the.
Yep, for the sake.
This happens.
Yeah, for the sake of everyone, right? All right, super. So
yeah.
It's I mean, and it's tough to like segue into sports, right? Like after talking about something like this, but again, I hope everything just
yeah.
I'm like, let's segue. All right, how do you segue?
No, it's crazy. Well, let's go from one chaos to the next. I mean, La Liga MX, man.
Well, that's kind of like an understatement, man.
That's another thing. Oh my
goodness. That's a completely different type of chaos. Completely different type of chaos, dude. Well, where do you want to start? Cruz Azul?
All right. Well, let's jump right in. I mean, you want to go into the big fish. Let's go with the big fish.
Well, if you haven't been watching Liga MX, this news broke late Thursday, actually right after the podcast, right? Last Thursday, early Friday morning. So Cruz Azul owners are being investigated for laundering their money with the mafiosos.
Oh man!
And the problem there is not so much the money laundering situation, which it seems like a lot of corrupt owners and teams maybe do, not necessarily in Liga MX, but just around the world. The problem is that the fans could lose their team because Cruz Azul is in danger of being disaffiliated thanks to a government law that was passed several years ago, where it states that if a team is caught doing illicit activity, with organized crime, then they could lose their affiliation with Liga MX. So, what do you think, dude?
Now, do you think that really could happen to Cruz Azul, man? Do you think that Liga MX will allow that to happen? Or would they just bury that? You know how everything works in Mexico. I mean, I heard that last week, at the end of the week, but then as the weekend progressed, it kind of like died down. I didn't hear much more about it. Even today, I was trying to look for more stuff. I didn't see anything else.
I think that because it's still being investigated, and then remember also there's no soccer being played right now, so it's a little bit different.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Do you think that something's gonna come out of that, or maybe they're gonna say, all right, we're gonna fire Billy Alvarez?
I think what's gonna happen is that they're not gonna be able to find enough evidence. And they're not going to lose the affiliation. Cruz Azul is one of the biggest teams in Mexico, and
that's what I'm saying.
It's unlikely that happens, but
Yeah, so I mean, I would understand if it was something like a Veracruz or Jaguares, they'll get rid of them, and then that's it. Nobody makes noise about it, but it's one of the four, uno de los cuatro grandes, yo. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Do you really think that could happen? I don't know.
Right. Hey, really quick, Super. I want to remind everybody that those of you guys watching that today is going to be our inaugural Latino Business Entrepreneur segment. That's going to be coming right up. So for those of you guys waiting to watch that, today, again, is the inaugural segment. So we'll be airing that in just a couple of seconds or minutes. not seconds, porque si no dejo platicar al super del food. So again, that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. So super, yeah, going back to Cruz Azul, dude. I mean, you're right. One of the big fours, so it's very unlikely that it ends up happening, dude. So, but again, I think that because there's no games going on right now, the league is still, the season obviously has been suspended, right, or canceled. But
yeah, the season's been canceled.
Right, but we don't know.
Yeah, another joke about.
Wow.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, 10 games, and it was over half of the tournament. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I would, what I would have done is just send the 8 teams to Liguilla.
That's what you
finish a tournament like that. I would have done that. It's nice and easy,
Well, yeah, but
you
again,
play 10 games.
But again, it's COVID-19. You know what I mean? Like in Mexico, things aren't getting any better, dude.
I know.
So what are you gonna do? Like you can't do that to people. Hey, dude, the other topic that I think we gotta talk about a little bit is Juan Carlos Osorio and the comments that he made over the weekend to ESPN Deportes, where he said that when he asked his team if they were ready to play Mexico, crickets, dude. Hold on, let me see if I can find the crickets.
Come on, man.
Wait, hold on. I want to see if I can find it. Oh, no. Wait, hold on. I have crickets here. Oh, no.
There you go. That's for Osorio. Yeah, that's for Osorio.
That's what he heard. Exactly.
I think he's full of it.
You think so?
I think he's just full of shit, man. And listen, he's, in my opinion, one of the worst coaches of the national team in history. And I didn't even watch way back then. And it's like, this guy is just, how could you even talk? How could you say that? Like, you hold 4 years that you wasted. He wasted, in my opinion, he wasted one of the best generations of players that we have had in L3.
I don't know.
He just wasted it. He could have formed an 11 for 4 years and have them playing together for them to be a team, know each other better.
Okay.
And instead of that, he had a different team every game he played for 4 years. That's ridiculous. Who does that?
No.
It's just, I don't know. The worst coach.
All right, let me answer you in just 1 second. Saludos a Alex Sierra. ¿Cómo estás, hermano? Me pregunta. I'm good, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Los Chompis, David Serrano. He wants to know if you're Care Bear. No, es el super mojado. Care Bear, I don't know where Care Bear is right now. Maybe Care Bear's tuning in. Saludos a la banda. Mándenos sus mensajes. Leave us a message. Make sure you comment. Let us know your thoughts, your feelings about everything that's going on in Liga MX. Make sure that you guys follow us on our social media platforms. And if you guys want to call, ahí está el numerito. 860-506-5903. All right, aquí lo tengo, mira. Ready to take your calls and debate about everything that's going on. All right, so super.
All right, give it up.
I think that Osorio is not the one to blame, dude, in my opinion. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, dude, Osorio, he was the coach, man. And yes, I understand that tactics are important. I understand that, that he's the one that decides which players get to play, man. But at the end of the day, man, it doesn't matter because the players are the ones that have to perform. They have to excel. So when everybody was giving Mexico credit after beating Germany, right? I didn't hear anybody saying, oh, let's dump Osorio, let's get rid of him. Nobody was crying, fire Osorio. Nobody was saying anything. Then you heard a couple of pundits, oh my God, Osorio's strategy finally working. It shows the reason why he changed all the lineups, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's what a lot of pundits said. You know, I never disliked him. I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't think he's as great as some people think he is. But at the end of the day, man, again, the players are the ones that have to perform, dude. How is it possible that those players were able to perform against Germany? Yeah, Germany, like, so the victory wasn't that great or it wasn't good enough because it was the worst German team ever.
Exactly.
Lo que pasa es que los mexicanos siempre se suben en una nube, dude. We get way up there, nos confiamos, and it's over. And that's that.
But I'm going to go back to one thing that you said just a few minutes ago.
What's that?
When you have good players, okay, I'm not going to say that these guys were like, oh, the best generation ever. No, you had great players, okay? Some of these guys had a lot of experience already in Europe, okay? But you need a leader. You need you need a coach to like put this stuff in mentally, in their heads that they can do it and they can go above and beyond. You need somebody to lead them to play better, and this guy wasted all that time. How could you take someone serious if you don't even know?
Hold on, do you really think
if you don't even know if you're gonna play the next game or not?
Dude, do you really think he wasted all that time, even worse than the 4 years prior to that? Where like Mexico didn't even, or was like on the verge of not clinching to the World Cup. Do you remember that?
Yes, but listen, but some of these coaches did, like, he didn't do anything better than any of them, or I said, in my opinion, man. He did worse.
Nobody has. In the last 7 World Cups, nobody has. So what makes him so different than everybody else? They're all failures. At the end of the day, they're all failures, right? If he's a failure, so is every single coach that has coached. If he's a failure, so is Piojo Herrera. If he's a failure, so is Mejia Maron. If he's a failure, so is Javier Aguirre. If he's a failure, every single coach that has ever coached Mexico is a failure. That's the reality.
They are. They didn't win anything.
Okay, so then all of them wasted time. Then it's the same thing.
Well,
dude.
Yeah. No, but at least they could have shown some decency. Like show more. Like character? I said, when that third game, más character. That third game that he lost 3-0. Let's not forget about that.
Okay, see, there you go. But you're saying
3-0.
No, the team lost, dude. Everybody's got to take the blame. Everybody's got to take the blame, man. You can't just blame the coach, right? A lot of people, when Jordan won his titles, a lot of people were saying, oh, it was Phil Jackson, great team. But people said, like, no, but he had the best player in the world, Jordan, right? But then some people would say, like, no, he had Pippen and Kukoc and Steve Kerr and everybody else around him, right? The reality is when a team wins, it's the team's victory. But when the team loses, it's the same thing, a team's defeat. So we got to blame everybody. We can't just blame one or the other. We can't blame only the players, or we can't blame only Osorio.
Yeah, but you can't come out like a few years later and say, yeah, my team.
Yeah, he can.
When I asked them if you're ready.
He can say whatever he wants. He can say whatever he wants. And the players can say whatever they want too. I'm sure like a couple of players, I haven't heard any comments, but I'm sure a couple of players are going to come back and say like,
oh, yeah, of course.
Like for example, like Chicharito, right? Today, that like was or I don't know if it was today or yesterday, when he commented about David Moyes and how que era muy terco, right?
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So maybe to a lot of people, David Moyes wasn't terco. It was Chicharito that sucked and didn't fit his plans. It works both ways, dude.
Okay, my point is like, okay. Yeah, it was the players lost. Okay, they lost the World Cup, but how could you talk about the national team? Like, oh yeah, when I asked them if they were ready, nobody even answered me. How could you say that when for 4 years you didn't do anything? Like La Copa America, 7-0.
But hold on. Like if that's what it really happened. I don't know if it really happened. He's saying those things, right? But if that's what really happened, are you mad at him for sharing that?
No. Listen, I'm just saying that he should just keep his mouth shut. I mean, he didn't do anything.
But answer my question. If that really happened, you wouldn't want to know? What if it was like another coach? What if it was like Tuca Ferretti and Tuca said that? Should Tuca keep
Well,
his mouth shut?
it's listen, that stuff, locker room stuff. Yeah, whatever, dude. It doesn't matter. Like, what's the purpose of coming out all this?
Maybe somebody's gonna
time,
maybe somebody's gonna write a book about it, man. I don't know. But anyway, all right, super. Let's go ahead and take a little commercial break, dude. And when we come back, we are going to have our very first ever Latinos in Business Entrepreneurs episode, or segment, I should say. So again, we're gonna take a little commercial break, and just so you guys know, what we want to do here at 3 Online is continue to expose. And I'm using those words very carefully and tactically. Expose and congratulate the Latino business owners. We want to share their joy. We want to share sus logros. And that's the purpose of that. So, again, we're going to take a little commercial break, and we hope that you enjoyed that segment, okay? A ver, deja pongo la musiquita so we can go to the little commercial break, super. Truchas, eh? There you go. So we'll be back right after this little break. Hey guys from El Tri Online, we're back here with another episode of the ETO podcast, but most importantly, we have the very first inaugural Latino Business Entrepreneur segment here in the podcast. And today we're joined by our very special guest, who is going to be the first entrepreneur ever in our segment here at the ETO podcast. And it's Ulises Sandoval, owner of Supreme Asphalt Services. Ulises, thank you very much for joining us, man. We're thrilled to have you. We want to learn more about you and your business.
Really excited to talk about the business and everything else and all of the Latinos.
So let's first give a little bit more of more context, just in case people miss this. I think that it's important for us here at El Tri Online, and just Latinos and Mexicanos in general, to understand the significance of celebrating success of Latino business owners and entrepreneurs. Because I feel like often what happens, people out there feel a little bit of envy or jealousy, instead of being proud of having la raza, right? Like, turn out to be successful. And obviously, Ulises, you're a perfect example of the people that we are proud to call raza. You're an example of the type of leadership and the type of entrepreneurial skills that a lot of people out there should aspire to have. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, talk to me about how your business came together.
Well, I've been in this trade for a long time. I used to work for a family business, and I learned everything from my dad, and got taught everything, the ropes, the business side, and everything. And basically, I decided that I could do more, that I could work on my own and be my own boss, and not that I wasn't happy with my dad. But, it was time for me to just branch off and do my own thing. I took my dad's business as schooling, and then I applied everything that I learned from that over on my business. And it was a struggle. It was a struggle making the business succeed. But here we are now.
Well, we're here with Super Mojado. Super also knows a thing or two about struggles. So, Super.
La lucha libre.
Seguro. Jump in the fence. That was the hardest part. Cruzando la frontera. No. I know. Like, I've been in the business too. I come from a background of working, all over the place for different people, and now I work for the city. But tell me, on your what was the hardest thing or what was the biggest challenge that you encountered at the beginning of your business?
Oh man, there's so many struggles, but the thing that I struggle the most is changing myself. That's something that I had to do since the beginning, and it was very hard porque tienes que sacrificar mucho para hacer esto, y es el problema con mucha gente. Antes de empezar, no saben cambiar ellos mismos, and they end up doing things that that make the business fail. Friends, family, parties, drinking, todo eso. En el comienzo tienes que cambiar las cosas y ponerle todo enfoque a tu negocio. Aparte de eso, sí se ocupa un poquito de dinero y para empezar un negocio, pero it's not impossible. There's money out there that you can borrow, which is what I did. I went to certain investors y haz de cuenta que era como un Shark Tank episode. 3 horas ahí preguntándome preguntas y cómo y cuándo y profits y todo eso. Y la verdad, estuvo muy difícil porque yo nunca había hecho algo así. Y me rechazaron, no me quisieron prestar el dinero, pero no me paró. Entonces, le buscamos, le hicimos la lucha y here we are, man, here we are. Yeah. Pero sí, dinero y cambiándote tú mismo is the biggest struggle.
I guess you're right. That's one of the biggest struggles for our community. That los Latinos que we like to have fiestas for every little thing. El bautizo, the dog. You got a new dog, you got a party, and so I guess you're right. That's a good point. You have to ease out a little bit on that, and if you want to succeed, you have to change your ways. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Uli, another thing that obviously, we pointed out quickly was, a veces hay mucha gente envidiosa out there, you know what I mean? And that could potentially, create the wrong precedents or mindset for some people. Have you encountered some people feeling a little bit jealous for you? And if you have, how have you been able to overcome that?
Yeah, definitely. There's la raza somos una gente muy especial, ¿verdad? Muy bonita mi gente.
Yeah.
Pero sí I have encountered that before from my own people, and it's always, I don't know if it's jealousy, I don't know what it is, pero nunca no voy a decir nunca. Hay gente que sí, they'll put you down.
Yeah.
Que no puedes hacer eso, o ¿cómo le vas a hacer? It's not going to work. But you know what? You just have to, how to overcome it? You just have to keep going, man. You have to take that, todo lo que te dicen negativo, y usarlo como juego. Es todo lo que se tiene que hacer. And prove people wrong.
Yeah.
That's it.
What do you think?
Pero sí.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you, it's a very good point, and you're right. I think that's the right approach, no? But what would you say are some of the top skills that you have or have developed along the way?
Oh, leadership, man. I always worked for somebody, so I was never in charge of people. Pero being in charge of people is super hard, man. You're the leader. You're the guy that's out in the front line, y como si vas a la guerra, tú eres el que vas a ir con ellos y vas a ir primero. Entonces, you have to lead your team because all their families depend on you. So leadership is one thing that I continue to learn to this day.
So, Uli, también, one of the things that I think in California especially, there's so much competencia, no?
Oh,
it's just what is one thing that makes your business unique so you can people keep calling you back?
Oh man, so there's a lot of competition, especialmente in my field. It's saturated with companies like me because it's so easy to go and buy a $5 machine and paint a parking lot by yourself. So it's very easy. Pero what sets us apart from others is that in this business you have to work super fast to make money. But we decided, you know what? We're going to work a little bit slower. We're going to do things right. And then we don't have to come back and fix anything. But that's the major problem of other companies, is they have to come back and fix. Y nosotros lo hacemos bien la primera vez y vámonos. Let's move on to the next one.
So
Quality, huh? Quality. That's right. Yeah.
No, yeah. So it's a smart approach. You take your time to do things right, in order for you not to go back and have to fix any mistakes. Now the other question is you talked about, you know, the things that you do, right? As far as like a technical skill, what are like some of the things that the people that work for you need to know? Like, what do they need to be good at?
Well, in my trade it's a little bit, you do need a lot of skills to get that done, pero no es imposible. You know, obviously you start from the beginning, you start learning how to, you know, how to measure and how to, todas las regulations de los parking lots. After that, you know, you start painting little by little, vas pintando y pues sí, uno se pone nervioso porque es pintura y dices, oh, I'm going to screw it up, you know? But hey, I tell the guys that are barely starting, it's only paint, you know? We can erase it.
Right.
Se borra, and let's start over, you know? Solo así se aprende, haciendo mistakes. But painters is what is the skill that's needed, the top skill.
Well, let's see. What is what was I gonna say here?
No te me trabes, mi super.
Like,
Vamos, mi super.
No te me pongas nervioso.
No manches.
Oye, ni que fuera un jugador de fútbol, canijo.
No, but I had a question, and you know, like as I was starting, se me fue.
Oye, no. You got one, or because I got one?
No, dale.
No, you know, another thing that's interesting, Ulises, is also the amount of risks that entrepreneurs and business owners have to take. So let's talk about the risks that you ended up having to take as you took the plunge into creating your own business.
Oh man, it's that was very tough, man. Very tough. Y la verdad que uno cuando está trabajando as an employee where you're at for a long time, dices, ¿para qué me voy a salir?
Right.
Si aquí estoy bien. ¿Qué si no funciona? ¿Qué si I lose my house? ¿Qué si mi carro? Y empiezas a pensar, what if? What if I lose my house? What if it doesn't work? What am I going to do? Eso es el risk que yo sentía that I was taking, because I do have a house, and you know, I was scared to leave my family out on the streets.
Yeah, that's a tremendous risk.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I got it back now. So let me try again.
Dale pues.
So, what is the advice that you have for someone that is trying to start their own business? Like, you know, what is the one thing that they should have or know to start their own business?
Read books. Change your mentality. That's number one, is change your mentality. And como les dije hace rato, los malos hábitos que tengan, kick them out the door. Vámonos. Enfóquense en lo que quieren hacer, and don't stop. Don't let people tell you que no se puede. Si no hay dinero, busquen dinero. Si no tienen papeles, hay maneras de hacer negocio without being a U.S. citizen. Anybody can do it. All it takes is hard work. Pero todo ese hard work is very worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Ulises, so we want to give you an opportunity so you can actually tell people what is it that you do in your business and the type of services that you guys offer.
Yeah, so what we do is we do maintenance on parking lots. we apply what's called a slurry seal. We make it look nice and black, nice and pretty, and we repaint the lines so that there's direction for traffic, and the businesses look good up front. That's pretty much what we do. Is we maintain parking lots.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to do that, like, do you guys only serve businesses, or like how does that work? Talk to us about like kind of where most of your business comes from and those type of things. Yeah.
So property managers, we work a lot for property managers. So if you're a maintenance person in some apartments, we'll go help you out. We are a resident. If you have asphalt in your house, we'll go help you out. Anything with asphalt, we'll help you out.
Hence the name, right? Supreme Asphalt Services.
That's right, man.
A ver, Super. ¿Ya se te vino otra?
Dímelo.
Vamos, Super, está muy calladito.
Sí, no,
Es que se mira más bonito.
Ahí estamos al tiro. All right, so tell us where is your your zone over there to business para que te mande yo a mis primos.
Ándale. No, sí, tú mándalos. No, we're located in Anaheim. And we service all of Orange County, LA, Inland Empire. Donde haya jale, nosotros vamos.
Yeah,
that's how we work.
That's great, man.
The
That's
whole
great.
state of California. That's good.
No, próximamente en Connecticut también.
Ándale, eso es todo. Vámonos para allá. Frío.
Yeah. Well, Ulises, I think, as I mentioned earlier today, you're an inspiration, man. And a lot of people should continue to look at people like you. And instead of feeling any kind of envy or jealousy, we have to celebrate people like you, man. The hardworking raza, the hardworking individuals out there who understand the struggle, have gone through the struggle in order to create a business. So again, the purpose of this is to make sure that people understand that together we are a lot stronger, and there's no need for us to be jealous of individuals like you. Again, on the contrary, right? It's all about celebrating the successes that you have. So we want to congratulate you, man, and we wish you the best of luck. Now, tell us finally, if people wanted to get a hold of your services, where can they reach you, or how can they reach you?
So we're on. Oh, first of all, thank you very much, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And you're absolutely right. People need to stick together porque juntos podemos hacer mucho más. Claro. Entonces, if you want to get a hold of Supreme Asphalt Services, we're on Instagram, Supreme Asphalt Services. We're on Facebook, también lo mismo, Supreme Asphalt Services. Or you can give us a call, 714-224-8866.
Órale, ¿tienes un website también o no?
Oh, yeah, we do. Parkinglothelp.com.
Ahí está.
Parkinglothelp.com.
There you go.
We can't forget. A ver, Super, I'll give you your little 20 seconds para que te despidas de Ulises.
All right, Ulises. Well, fue un placer, carnal. And like I said, I'll send you my cousins down your way.
Ándale, mándalos para acá. Hay mucho gusto, Gracias.
Órale, pues, Ulises. Well, again, thank you very much for taking your time. We wish you much success. And remember, folks, that this is the first segment of many more to come where we're going to be showcasing Latino business leaders, Latino business entrepreneurs, because at the end of the day, those of us and those of you who have made your own business are a leader in your own way, because it takes a lot of, to start your own business. So, Ulises, thank you very much again for your time, man, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much, guys.
We're back, Super. Ahí está. So that was the segment, the very first ever. Latino business entrepreneurs. So again, celebrating our success together. A big thank you once again to Ulises Sandoval, the owner of Supreme Asphalt Services. Again, you guys saw the number in case you guys are interested in any of his services. But Super, it was great, man. Great conversation with Ulises.
Yes, sir. Admirando a los small businesses, in the country. So especially if it's La Raza, that are the front lines over there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's the one thing that a lot of people don't do enough, right? We don't admire enough. We don't celebrate the success of La Raza enough. And again, here at El Tri Online, I feel like it's our responsibility to do that, especially in challenging times like this one, that much of the things that people view as negative, much of the things that people are seeing everywhere are, just not good things or not pleasant things, right? So, again, it is our duty, to do that. So, if you want to nominate somebody to be part of the show as a Latino business entrepreneurs, send us an email to info@eltrionline.com or joer@eltrionline.com and share us their story. Let us know why they should come on and share their story. Again, to us, the important thing is to get to know as many Latino business entrepreneurs out there, and hopefully we can share every single one of your guys' stories. So, ahí está, super.
Simon. Shout out to my cousin Tino, the owner of Uncle Bob's in Plainville, Connecticut.
Órale, ahí está. Ya dijiste. Oye, really quick. No, yeah, saludos al chavo, seguro. Dile que won't interview him too. I wanted to really take a couple of minutes, really quick, take a couple of minutes because we're running out of time to talk about the potential lockout that could happen in MLS and Major League Soccer. The Players Union and the league are at odds because of the pay cut. I think the Players Union were offering 7.5% cut and the league was offering 8.5%. So it's literally a percentage that separates their the Players Union and the league. However, a percentage of millions of dollars is a lot of money, right? So that being said, Super, how bad would it be for the league if they were to have some kind of lockout?
Well, I mean, just as bad as any other business, I mean, everyone will lose. And it's just, I mean, I have faith that they're going to come to an agreement. I mean, that money that these guys get, it's just, you can't compare, like, it's not like it's $50, and right. I need those $50 to pay my rent. It's not like that, It's those guys are living more comfortably. And I think the same thing with the owners. They have the money.
Right.
They can come to an agreement. So, because if they don't, they both lose. It's not nobody wins in this situation.
Yeah, especially with the league having been paused because of COVID-19. They're already suffering because of that, and then you add this to the mix. Man, I can see that being catastrophic. I think most lockouts are really, really bad for leagues. For me, personally, I remember that one of the reasons why I stopped liking baseball as much as I used to was because of the 1994 lockout. That changed my perspective and that changed my love of the game I had. I remember I loved baseball just as much as I loved soccer when I was growing up. I mean, I was a hardcore fan. But that lockout in 94 just like literally squeezed my love out of baseball. But anyway, my point is that if there's a lockout, it could be catastrophic because that is not what the league needs right now, especially again after COVID-19. They're enjoying growth, they're enjoying success, and right now, for that to happen would only be counterproductive and detrimental for the growth. So I just hope it doesn't happen. I hope that, like you said, they come to an agreement, and I think they will as well. But even like these news are like, they leave a bad taste in the fans' mouth.
Yeah, but right now it's crazy because like how many people are really focusing on that? Like they're worrying about other things, like their health, their economic situation, their family in general. It's just, I think, yeah, you're right. Some people are concerned, but not too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially in the situation that we're living in. So.
Right. So anyway, hopefully they solve things and they get everything squared away, and we get some soccer, because I think they're supposed to start a tournament in Orlando pretty soon. So, super. We're running out of time, dude. So I want to take this last minute that we have in the show to show this really, really, really awesome video, and that is from SpaceX.
Yeah.
So they sent a couple of astronauts to the ISS, the International Space Station. And it was the first time since 2011 that the U.S. sent astronauts to space. So that was pretty cool. Again, especially with all the things happening right now, in the country, it was really nice to, for us to get an opportunity to see something so cool. I love space. I love, anything that has to do with with outer space. But I mean, the reason why I'm showing this, again, it's just such a great achievement. And not only that, but like the significance of it, right? Like the importance of it. Basically, it just means that it's another milestone for humanity, right? It's the first time that a private entity sends humans into space. So it's incredible, man. It's incredible. And again, sending them to the International Space Station. I'm a big believer in space exploration, and I think this is just a major milestone for the human race and for humanity. And these are like the positive things that we have to continue to share with the world. So I thought that was pretty cool, personally.
Yeah, I did see some footage, and yes, it is awesome. All of this. I do also like some of the NASA, all that NASA stuff, and I actually was at the Kennedy Center last year.
Nice.
Yeah, last year, and we were planning to go back this year, but of course, all this COVID-19 crap ruined our plans. So we actually wanted to go see a launch, because how they have them every so often.
Right.
And we wanted to go stay over there with the family and just watch a launch. But like I said, everything. The pandemic ruined everything for everyone. So.
Pues pórtate bien, si no te vamos a mandar a la luna. That's what the crowd wants. That's what the people want. All right, Super. Pues good luck to the human race on that, and hopefully we get an opportunity to see more of these missions out there. So, pero ya estuvo.
Órale.
The new little theme song, courtesy of Care Bear.
DJ Joe.
Para nada. All right. Well, there you have it. On behalf of El Super Mojado, I am Joe Rodriguez. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we hope that you join us this upcoming Thursday for more of the ETO podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please stay safe, and if you protest, be cautious. Be careful. Take care of each other. Thank you very much. Have a good night.